All right, so now that you're all set up and connected to the Smart Sleep app, I'm going to deep dive into all of the comprehensive features of this app and how you can really take control of your therapy and really be empowered. So I think you're going to be pretty impressed. Let's dive in and see what it's got to show us. So in this video, we're going to cover the SmartSleep app and how comprehensive this is. Now this works with any SmartMed device, whether it be the Wi-Fi version of the iDisc, of the iBreeze, or of the brand new iBreeze Gen 2. So when you first log into the app after you've set up everything, all of your account and your Wi-Fi, this is the main dashboard that you see. So the reason why it's so comprehensive is because of the different layers of data that you can see from an app, which is quite unique compared to most CPAP machine apps, which just give you very basic summary data. All right, so up the top here, you have the sleep assessment with the month, and here are the days here. So we can actually scroll through the days and you can see what's got data and what doesn't. So on the 7th, for example, it tells me that I started at 10:27 and I finished at 6:24 in the morning, and my result was great result. It says success, great result. And the reason for that is my usage is right up there in the effective part because I used it for almost 8 hours. My AHI was low, was 1.4. We obviously want to keep the AHI where we can under 5. So this is the events per hour, so 1.4 is great. My sleep study said I stopped breathing 28 times an hour, so 1.4 is much better than 28. The leaks that you can see down here is also very low. This is the mask leak. So all in all, this is a quick snapshot, and the great thing is you can choose another date, for example, like a day that I didn't use it, for example, might have been this day. It tells me it's ineffective because there's no usage. So basically, the dashboard here shows the snapshot initially, and up the top you'll see there's a sleep diary for single day and a sleep report for multi-day. Okay, let's look at the sleep diary, which is the single night but more detail. So as we scroll into this, you can see that we have the device first, and so the device tab will show me what my settings were for that particular night. I've got the serial number of my machine, the mode is APAP, which means automatic, and the minimum and maximum pressure. So my machine was set at 6.5 as my minimum pressure, maximum of 13. So as I scrolled, so the statistics here give me the specifics about last night's sleep data. So I could see the total amount of hours there. The pressure, including the 95th percentile, means that 95% of the time my pressure was averaging about 7, but the maximum that it hit was 10.6 in order to be able to control my events. I could see that my AHI is 1.4, and that was made up out of 1.1 of apneas per hour and 0.3 of hypopneas, which is a narrowing of the airway. So again, 1.4 events per hour is way better than 28 times an hour. So as we go down, we've got usage chart, which shows the times that I was using it, and there's a couple of breaks there. And along there, we also have the time down the bottom, but this shows you the pressure. So these peaks and troughs are the pressure that my device went to in order to be able to control my events, and it's a slider. So you can actually slide it across there and see the whole night. And there was a couple of times there which I've had a break for a bathroom or a drink, for example, so you can see that. So when you click on a particular part of the graph, it'll tell you at any particular time what the values were for that time. So for example, at 3 minutes past 2 in the morning, my pressure was 6.9 at that particular time. I can scroll down here, and same thing, I have a scrolling graph for my leak. And down the bottom, we have the events. Now there aren't very many events, there's a flow limitation there, there's a few events across here. But you can see also on the left all of these acronyms, and some people might not know what they mean. So if you press the down button there, this gives us a list of what those acronyms happen to mean. Now the great thing about this app is there's actually also another area where we go into detail as to what they mean from a not just what the word stands for, but also what it means. So you can get some sort of idea of what's happening with your therapy and what sort of respiratory events you may be experiencing. The other thing you can do anytime you see one of these icons here, you can click on this. This expands the chart, so you can see there is my my usage chart as far as the pressures go. If I now go to the multi-night report, this is where you can actually pull and email yourself to forward to your doctor, or just for your own knowledge, a 7, 14 or 30-day report from any period of your therapy. So the period 2 section here means that's the end of the report. So if we're looking at a 7-day report, it'll be 7 days ending on the 7th of March. 14 days, again ending on the 7th of March, and so on and so forth. So for example, we could choose a 30-day report just by clicking on 30, and it will then recalibrate the settings, the statistics, sorry, and it will tell me all of my statistics there for the night. I can look at my usage as well, and this will tell us out of the 30 days, I only used it for 4 days because I was testing this device, which is only 13% compliance, which is pretty bad because I was using a different device. The amount of hours that I used or days that I used with more than 4 hours was the full 4. So total hours used was 30 in the last 30 days. Average amount of hours is 1. Average usage hours for the days that I used it was 7.6. So out of the 4 days that I used it for an average of 7.6 hours a day. And since therapy started, since I set up this account, it's been 1 month and 4 days. So as we scroll down, we can go back to statistics, which show you all of the stats that we were talking about before. AHI and usage, for example. Here is the usage for those 4 days. And you can click on any one of those days and it will give you the exact amount of time that you've used it. We've got the dates down the bottom. As far as pressure goes, this is really cool as well. So for each day, it'll show us what the median pressure, the 95th percentile, and the maximum pressure was for any of those days as well. And the same thing with AHI. So it'll break down on each day what the AHI was. So the events per hour, which is made up of both the hypopneas, which is a narrowing of the airway, and an apnea, which is a full stopping of breathing effectively. So fantastic. Now, if I want to email a copy of this report to myself to send to my doctor, I just press the share button up the top and it will bring up that report. So I click generate sleep report. And then once it does that, the report is here, and I scroll down to the very bottom and there's a link there that says send to email. So just click on send to email and it sends. So as long as your email is registered on your account, away you go. You can actually also save it directly to your device if you want to, and that'll then be in your gallery. So let's go back to the main screen again. And down the bottom, we have a profile section. When we click on profile, this gives us, this is really the personal part of the app. So we can see the name there. Here you can pair your Wi-Fi if you haven't done that already. If you've got a Wi-Fi device, you can go into your profile and edit any of your details there, date of birth, the serial number of your device. It's really important to make sure you have your email down there as well. And your healthcare provider is listed and the institution there as well. You can also reset your password or edit any of your details from here. Okay, so if we click on the help section, we have the frequently asked questions down the left. What is sleep apnea? As you can see, it's quite comprehensive. We have what is obstructive sleep apnea, central sleep apnea, and a bunch of different terms there. We also have a terms section which explains what AHI is, what leak is, what flow is, tidal volume, minute ventilation, and a more expanded view of the details and the terms that you would have seen on the sleep reports earlier. So all in all, it's a great app, very comprehensive, and the best part is you can use your credentials that you log in with the app to also go and log into the ResAssist portal, which is where you have the full access to the clinical reports that you can also again download specifics and email yourself, and that you can access that on a desktop. So I hope this has been helpful. Enjoy your therapy.